Thank you for joining me. This screencast will serve as a basic introduction to tree diagrams. These branching structures that resemble trees serve as a useful tool in representing a sequence of events. As a first-year business student who will likely study probability, these useful diagrams will allow you to view this intimidating topic in an uncomplicated manner. But before we get started with a basic example, let's look at tree diagrams in closer detail. The branches of this tree diagram represent two individual coin tosses. When comparing the tree branches to this chart here, it is obvious that the four potential outcomes of these tosses are each represented by a unique path in the diagram. For example, the scenario of both coins landing on heads is represented by this path. The scenario of the first coin landing tails and the second coin landing heads is represented by this path here. In the next example, I will associate different probabilities with each branch of a tree diagram and will calculate the probability of a specific outcome occurring. Doing so will demonstrate the usefulness of tree diagrams and make it simpler for business students to move forward into more complex problems. Here, the first branches represent the probability of randomly selecting a U.S. voter that lives in the state of California or in the state of New York. For simplicity, I have made it equally as likely to pick a voter from either state. After selecting a voter from one of these states, the following branches represent the proportion of registered voters that support either Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton in these respective states. In this example, we will determine the probability of randomly selecting a voter that lives in New York and supports Donald Trump. In order to determine this probability, we simply multiply down the branch that meets this criteria. Therefore, by multiplying 1/2 by 4/5, we determine that the probability of selecting a voter from New York that supports Donald Trump is equal to 2/5. Thank you for watching this presentation. I hope that following it will allow you to expand your knowledge of tree diagrams.